Yes, my people, welcome back again to the Reggae Boys Weekly on this lovely Sunday evening. Big up to the people them. Olympics done, don't? Olympics done?
Where the Olympics done from the whole of the injury them and the whole heap of foolishness. You can't ask me that.
Yes, from Jamaica now win a medal in a them little
Now
belly. Olympics done.
it's done, brother.
Jaja youth. But I think Olympics actually finished. I think either if it's not finished, I think today might be the last day. I'm not really sure because honestly, I never watch Olympics. If I be honest with you, never watch it. The only event I think we did watch was the which event we did watch again in the Olympics, the 100 meter final with Kishan and Noah. You get me? I say. But once again, big up on yourself, people. Big up to Team Jamaica. Feel like they represent the country well, although things never got to plan. As the people them say, don't make France get back at next Olympics. And I wholeheartedly agree. As the man them start doing a water opening ceremony. What can go wrong, brother? You get me? I say like the one them goes over France. Strong, brother. You see what I say? But yeah,
Yeah,
dear, big up yourself. How things with you?
yeah, bro. You know, so just a part of I road. Enjoy the evening the righteous way, you see me? So,
Yeah.
but,
I'm just want to read something to the people as well. There was it's a fortune cookie. It says a sprinkle of luck will make your dreams come true. So, best of luck to everyone in life and hopefully or may all of our dreams come true. But today we have some big topics to talk about. We have Ellis Sims to talk about as he will have to make a decision soon surrounding his career. We're also going to discuss Kyle Butler, Craig Butler, and the Pheonix Academy as the tour in Europe is going well. Pheonix Academy recently played Ipswich Town, demolishing Ipswich 5 goals to 1. And we're also going to discuss the manager, the coach of the current Reggae Boys team, Steve McClaren. Did some research, people, and I found out that Steve McClaren has been sacked 8 different times and 2 times by one club. I mean, listen, I want to get sacked by one club 2 times, brother. That's nothing to write home about. That is nothing to praise. You know what I say? And then the fact is that in total, the man has been sacked 8 times, brother. And people not question that. I was having a discussion with a virgin of mine, and him said, "Oh, Steve McClaren is experienced," and I said, "Well, he might be experienced in getting sacked." You know what I mean? Because it's not being experienced in getting success. Where's the success to show? I mean, one trophy out of what, like 9 clubs. I mean, come on, bro. But big up to Big Steve still. But before we get the show started, let me give you guys the intro.
It's time to rise up. Seven, take your place. Rise up.
Shine like the sun.
Rise up, rise up.
Your journey has just begun. Rise up.
Yeah. So the first thing we're gonna start off with is what you want to start off with Ellis Sims, Craig Butler, Pheonix Academy, or Steve.
bro, we could start off with Phoenix. Your topic we start off with first.
Where's it, Phoenix?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, so big up to Phoenix. They're on a European tour. Kyle Butler is representing Pheonix Academy, and he's over there in England with the youngsters. And he posted on his Instagram just a day ago. He was at Ipswich Football Club. As we all know, Omari Hutchinson plays for Ipswich for the senior team. And the caption was another top performance, 5-1 in Ipswich. The only thing with this caption, Dicanio, is that you don't know who get the 5. You get me? I say,
Yeah,
if
see,
the 5.
I got, bro. The one he say 5-1 winning a farm.
That's the only funny thing. But I'm going to assume that Phoenix beat the Ipswich team that they played 5-1, not the senior team, people, like the academy team that they would have played. I would assume that Phoenix did beat that Ipswich academy team 5 goals to 1. So once again, just an assumption. I mean, I think Kyle Butler would have like put this caption if Phoenix did lose. You can't have a top performance losing by 5 goals to 1, to be honest. So I'm gonna assume I think I'm correct in my assumption surrounding the caption. So big up to the Phoenix man them. They played multiple teams. I think he was at not Millwall. Let me see which club. So they went to Middlesbrough. They went to Middlesbrough recently. He said top performance today against Middlesbrough. He went to a next club as well, Aston Villa. They went to Aston Villa, and they also went to Blackburn Rovers Academy. So, they've been to multiple clubs playing the different respective academy teams. So, and it's a good experience for the youngsters from the Pheonix Academy. I would assume that some of them, they would be coming back to Jamaica for schoolboy football season. So having that experience at the European level, playing against like these academies at the top level, it's only good for a lot of these players, and some of these players, they will be getting a transfer as well. Craig Butler did state in the past that you had like three youngsters. Was it like Dante Peralto, Rabino Garden, and next one that went on a trial recently with Brentford. We don't know how that goes yet, but in the future we will see. But what you have to say about Pheonix and the European tour so far?
They are the shining light out all Jamaican programs. So you have to give them props. And this isn't anything new. Some of them been a do. And they're continuing to do it. So yeah, bro, the youths them get a bus no matter whichever way you want to look on it, whether politically, whatever. At the end of the day, the youth them get a bus to go abroad, have opportunities. And if they are good enough, they're going to get picked. They're going to make it, bro. So that's the most important thing, being in those situations to get picked, being in those situations to have a chance of being selected. Man, they travel from Africa, not knowing where next step are going to be, and look when they know. Kante, from Africa, them man, they travel, not knowing where the next step is going to be. So at the end of the day, once you have that talent, once you are good enough, you are going to make it. So it's our job as clubs in Jamaica get our players out there. You see me? So more eyes can see them.
Which Africa Kante travel from? The France man come from?
What you say?
The France Kante fought from? Which Africa I'm fought from?
Brother, man fought from Africa, brother. Man, them and Kante them, brother. What you mean?
Kante never born in France.
In Barna, France. I don't know if in Barna, France. You have to check that. But overall, dog, I know for sure man like man. I know for sure man like man, them man they travel from Africa, brother. You see me? Them man they used to go training in Africa, all about lengthy trips. You see me? So it's a good look for the youths, them, bro.
Yeah. So once again, big up to Pheonix Academy and their European tour in England. As I said, people, just a day ago, Craig Butler posted this picture done by Ipswich. Another top performance, 5-1 in Ipswich. As I said, the only thing with this caption is that we don't know who win, but I gotta assume say Ipswich. No, I gotta assume say Pheonix beat Ipswich 5-1. Some people might not believe it, but so be it. You know what I mean? But see the man them here. Big up on yourself, big up to Craig Butler, big up to Craig Butler. Developing the youngsters down there in Jamaica, and big up to all the academies in Jamaica as well. I think in terms of the structure of academies in Jamaica, I think it's a work in progress in terms of the football education, the infrastructure, etc. But that will come in due time. It takes heavy investment, and investment can only come from having adequate money to fuel into getting resources, etc. But we can move on to the next topic. So I could talk about Ellis Sims. So as we all know, Ellis Sims is a potential reggae boy. He has the how you go again? How did I say it now? He can potentially either represent England, Poland, or Jamaica. I think his dad actually comes from Jamaica. So no, his mom comes from Jamaica, so he can represent Jamaica through his mother. Now, Ellis Sims, a couple months ago, he was linked with a move to Bournemouth, right? Recently, Bournemouth, I would say they sold their star player in Dominic Solanke, who I gave me give Spurs Punk of the week yesterday, not Solanke. But they sold Dominic Solanke yesterday. They sold Dominic Solanke recently for a record club fee. Now, as it pertains to Ellis Sims, he plays for Coventry in the championship. Didn't have a bad season last season, to be honest. I think even against United, he had a good game. I think he scored a goal against us, and he should have scored one more goal as well. He had a golden opportunity to score a second goal against United in that FA Cup semi-final. And I saw Ellis Sims in a couple games last season with Coventry, and he's not a bad player. You get me, Mr. Dicanio? What do you have to say about Ellis Sims in terms of the player that he is?
To be very honest, I've only seen highlights apart from the back end of last season when they did on FA Cup run, and in the pick up form on the back end of last season. But especially the game against Manchester United that most of those teams in the Premier League have seen. And I think that is a game that really pop their eyes open as to the player and the quality that he has. And based off that game, you could see that his hold-up play was good. He was comfortable. Obviously, he's very tall. He stands at around 6'4" or 5", right? So he's very tall. He can hold up the ball well. He has aerial prowess. But it's not only that. When that man is running, him come like a donkey, brother. You see me, him tenacious, him hardworking. I remember him from his days at Everton. He was just raw at Everton. I never rate him when he was at Everton either. Because he used to just look like a man where he was a tracksman where he just turning on a footballer. But obviously, he worked on him game, moving to Coventry. And you can clearly see that the quality is there. The goals that he scores, his all-round play, dribbling, carrying the ball. He never looks rushed into a decision either. So all of those qualities are qualities that would make a team like Brentford or Bournemouth look at him, especially when they look at the likes of Solanke and Tony. He has a similar profile to both of them, right? So if there's any player that you can possibly get on a cheap to replace those players, and he's way younger as well, so they can develop him and they can turn him into the player like what Pheonix Solanke was. Remember, when Solanke went back to Bournemouth, he wasn't a world beater. He was almost at the level of an Ellis Sims, right? And they developed him, they gave him time, they gave him patience, which is what you have when you are playing at those clubs. You do have time, you do have patience, and you do have time to grow, right? So he will definitely have that time, and it will only bode well for him if he gets to go to one of those teams, and he can do well, bro. But as it relates to Jamaica now, as I said, I don't think England is within shout for him. He can represent England, he can represent Jamaica, and he can also represent Poland. But I think Poland has the main challenge because he realistically has the chance to go ahead and be the future of Polish football as it relates to the striking department, because Lewandowski is getting older, Pheonix is getting older, and Milik is getting older. And there are no real Polish strikers out there that are tearing up any trees, right? So he, if presented right by Poland, he will get drawn towards that project, right? There isn't a whole lot of competition in that project as it relates to the striking department, as opposed or as compared to Jamaica, where you have whole heap of strikers that are coming, whole heap of recruitment that are going. So it all depends on the mentality of the player and where his loyalty resides. Now, I made a video that I posted this morning, and a whole lot of people were talking about how him no good or he's a third tier. When I said, what kind of mention out about third tier player and them thing that the man literally played 11 games in the Premier League at a very young age, and now the man make a name for himself in the championship and can potentially get a move to a mid-table Premier League team, right? And me I hear say some people are say them want to get some Bellingham type talents in a Jamaica. And me I say, dog, what them brother you are pre? If you go in the comment section right now and read it on the video, me I say, what them brother you are really a pre? What them really expect of Jamaica and Jamaican players? You see me, bro? But all in all, as I said, still, he hasn't spoken about his commitment as yet. Him just mentioned the fact that he can represent all three, but he hasn't come out and say, oh, may I represent this one or that one. So I just time.
Well, the truth is,
yeah, it would definitely be a very good player for getting.
the truth is, as it pertains to Poland, his father was pushing him to play for Poland a couple years ago. The Polish FA did approach Ellis Sims, in which he declined to play for Poland, stating that he's not focused on anything international right now and he wants to just focus on his club football, right? So he did decline them a couple years ago. In terms of England, you see, recently, because I see like the likes of Ollie Watkins come from the championship, and I see the likes of Ivan Toney Ford from the championship, and them get into the England setup. If Ellis Sims does get a move to the Premier League, to a team like Bournemouth or Brentford or any other team, and he has a wonderful season, it's going to be hard for me to rule him out of getting a call up for England. You get me? I say, because just recently we see the likes of Ollie Watkins, not too long ago, being in the championship with Brentford, getting promoted to the Premier League. I mean, not with Brentford, Aston Villa. No, he was with Brentford, then Aston Villa by him. That's how you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aston Villa by Ollie Watkins from Brentford. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Aston Villa purchased him from Brentford, right? And then you see Ollie Watkins eventually get into the England setup. You see the likes of Ivan Toney get into the England setup as well, being promoted with Brentford. So if Ellis Sims does get a move to the Premier League, you know, he can have a wonderful season. He can easily get into the England setup, especially with a new coach coming in. Maybe the new coach wants something else. Not that Hurricane will get out. Obviously, Hurricane will always be like the first choice option in terms of your striker. But Ellis Sims is a player. I think he's just 23. So he has a lot of years ahead of him to develop as a player, etc., etc. Now, pertaining to club transfer, let me just pull it up on screen. Two clubs that he was linked with was Brentford and Bournemouth. And you know, if Brentford, if they go on to sell Ivan Toney, then he could be a possibility in the books to replace Ivan Toney, especially seeing that, you know, they're a similar profile in players, especially if you look at the build of the players in terms of stature, in terms of, you know, the hold up play, etc., etc., the physical presence that they bring in the 18-yard box. As well as, you know, he's also a similar profile to Dominic Solanke, who just recently left Bournemouth. And, you know, Dicanio, if I know anything about Bournemouth since recently, especially since the new acquisition from the guys from the United States, is that they're very ambitious. You know, Gary O'Neill was at Bournemouth. He had a good time, but they moved on from him, right? And the American owner stated that, listen, O'Neill did well with us, but we just want to head into a different direction. They brought in a different guy. At first, some people did kind of question it, but you saw where Bournemouth, they had a wonderful season last season as well. And, you know, Michael B. Jordan is also an investor in the club as well. So Bournemouth at this time, I think they've always been a very ambitious club. Especially when Eddie Howe was there. Eddie Howe at Bournemouth for a couple of seasons. You know, he had a wonderful time with the likes of what did the name go Newcastle, but he never get no game because he did fall out with Eddie Howe. You know, yet they have man like David Brooks and them people that don't have Bournemouth. I think he's like Bournemouth. So, you know, it's always a well-run club. So in terms of like Ellis Sims, to get a player like Ellis Sims at the age of 23, I think he scored over 12 goals last season in all competition down there with Coventry. I think it would be a wonderful acquisition.
Competitions.
Yeah, in terms of the fee, I don't know what the fee would be like because I was doing some research in terms of what was the fee when he left Everton to Coventry, but it was an undisclosed fee. You know what I'm saying? So I guess we'd have to look at the valuation of the player and then, in our opinion, like make an assessment to come to the conclusion that, oh, maybe they could have get him for like a 30 million or whatever the case is. But if Bournemouth go, if they're supposed to go in for a player like Ellis Sims, I don't think it would be a lot of money. It probably could be a record deal for like Coventry. You know what I mean? Because, you know, championship, nobody like really goes to the championship to like
20
spend
mil
all-
months.
Huh?
May I say 20 mil months?
Yeah. I don't know what
Championship never score a whole lot in the league in a championship. It was in all competitions. So yeah, bro. But more addresses coming though.
Hold on,
pull up
before
back
that, I don't know the record fee for a transfer for Coventry, but I'm just saying Bournemouth, I don't think they would pay like a lot of money for a player like a Ellis Sims, you know, because them just make a huge like profit of selling Dominic Solanke, although some of that money will go back to Liverpool. I don't know the figure in terms of what will go to Liverpool, but I don't think it will be like a lot out of the initial like 65 million. Or you say 55 plus 10 million in add-ons. So yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah. So let me just address this idiot in the comments where I called you.
Wait, we have to call him an idiot.
I him call the idiot first. See when the first idiot, brother. So learn market. Watch your style. Pull up the article. So the Sun, right? This is the Sun in UK. Because you say presser talking crap and doesn't understand ball in the UK.
Before that, let me just attack Brentford quickly. Who is Brentford? Respectfully, who is a Brentford? Just answer that for me. Learn the markets. Who is Brentford in the English Premier League? When since Ellis Sims cannot be good enough for Brentford? When since Brentford is this historic club that's so good that Ellis Sims, that used to play at Everton, one of the oldest clubs in England, he used to play for Everton, he did score against Chelsea, etc., etc. But all of a sudden, Ellis Sims is not a good player for a club like Brentford. Hadji Wright had a wonderful season down by Coventry with Ellis Sims leading the line. Come on, man. Brentford a club, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just pull up what this. Now this was an article that was posted back. Scroll up on the date. It was back in May, not true. May or April. End of May or early April. Right? Now read what it says. Scroll down a little bit more. Scroll down. Because I read it this morning. Stop right there. So. See? Now, in this article, it accurately predicted that Spurs was going to sign Solanke. This was 2 months ago, right? So it said that both Bournemouth and Brentford are looking at Ellis Sims to possibly replace their star strikers if they were to leave. And the Sun also mentioned that Spurs would have been in for around £50 million soup for Dominic Solanke. That was 2 months ago. And now we're seeing today that Spurs did buy Solanke, right? Now, if the Sun reported that and it turned out to be true, why you going to look on that and say, all right, that was true? And you're not going to look on the fact that they also reported that Ellis Sims might be the replacement for the same guy with them say Spurs would have buy. Come on, brother, use my head. And like I said, this is a bogus article. This was 2 months ago when that Sun posted that Spurs would have buy Solanke and them buying yesterday. So why you going to take that and you going to take the fact that them say the replacement that they have lined up for him would be Ellis Sims. And as Presser said before, what is so wrong with Ellis Sims? Did you see his performance against Manchester United? Have you seen the goals that he scored in the championship? And he's still very young. So if they're going to get a player like that with raw talent and he plays like he has a very calm head, right? He scored 19 goals in 56 games, whatever. But I'm not saying that he's of the quality of Solanke. I'm not saying that he's of the quality of Brentford. But you can't tell me say him can't play for them team there. What the hell? As well, person say, who are those teams him can't play for? And he was playing for Everton at a very younger age when he was raw. And now the man a little bit more developed, have more work to be done. He now go for that much. And I said that the maximum a team will pay for him at 20 mil. What wrong with that in this market here? I'm not saying they're going to pay the 20 mil. That's the maximum a team is going to pay. So, bro, stop coming full of the comment section and their foolishness, brother. And go try find the facts, bro. What's wrong with you?
And listen, you know, in terms of if you look back at his career, right? I mean, Dicanio, the guy is a goal scorer. You know, you look at his time at Blackpool, and let me just pull this up on screen as well.
Yeah, why you pull it up? And not just that alone as well.
He's just 23
Because
now, I remember.
a lot of people remember Solanke was not as good as he is now 3 years ago. You know? Remember Solanke go a Bournemouth in at the same position Ellis Sims might go Bournemouth in now. You know? I only think that man did have was hype as a Liverpool youth player. You know? He was not the player that he is today. So why you feel like say Ellis Sims can't go to Bournemouth and improve, playing around better players, playing in a better system, and they're a brilliant manager in what Ariola is. And he has a very calm head for his age. So why you don't think the man can make that transition? Obviously, he might not score as much goals as Solanke in his first season. But at the age of 23, why you don't think a team in the Premier League would pay that money for a player that has so much potential? Why is it so hard to believe that?
And let me just say this. Let me just read out these statistics. Remember, I'm just 23 now, right? He was in League One just a couple years ago in the 2021 season, on loan to Blackpool, on loan at Blackpool. 23 games, 10 goals, 1 assist. I'm not grading him Everton under 23 stats. I mean, I could. 12 games, 8 goals, 15 games, 8 goals. He was at Hearts, 17 games, 5 goals. He went to Sunderland, 17 games, 7 goals. He went back to Everton, never played much, 11 games, 1 goal. I think that goal was against Chelsea. And his first season in the Championship with Coventry, 46 games and 13 goals in the Championship. And he also scored goals in other competitions and as well in the FA Cup, etc., etc. So, I think in terms of his development, you see there's a trajectory in terms of he's going on the up. He's continuously going on the up. He's always developing as a striker. You know what I'm saying? And as I said, to learn the markets, I don't know who you are, but I'm not gonna say that. I don't know who you are, but you know more right than anyone else. You get me? I say, in my eyes, I don't think Brentford is a historic club, like a big club where them can look on Ellis Sims and say, oh, he's not good enough for us. If Ivan Toney was supposed to leave, the fact of the matter is you need a striker that can score goals. And Ellis Sims, he has shown that he's a striker that can score goals. You look at
that's the profile.
how you pronounce the youth name? The one who got on a sport in Lisbon recently. When he was at Coventry, learn the markets, were you saying that he's not good enough for a club like Sporting Lisbon, and how much is he worth now? The same Arsenal and numerous amount of clubs is trying to get that striker. You get me, Dicanio? So you never look on that them when they don't got Coventry and say, oh, him not good enough for go sport in Lisbon and Portugal. But all of a sudden, Ellis Sims is not good to make the step up into the English Premier League, which he was there before with Everton. So he's accustomed to the English Premier League. So
And it's
I think you're
also
right on
the
this one.
profile. It's also the profile. Not every time it's about goals. Obviously, them they score a whole lot of goals, but they also did a whole lot more things for the team, right? Now, if we look at Ellis Sims, we look at Dominic Solanke, and we look at Ivan Toney, they are three similar profiles. They offer a huge loads in both boxes, both in the defensive, defending set pieces and attacking set pieces. As strikers, so all three of them, they're over 6 foot by a good distance. They have aerial prowess and they're physical. They're helping both boxes. They're able to hold up the ball and they have a very calm head when they are on the ball. They are able to not dribble well, but carry and protect the ball well. And if him have all of that, the only thing you need to do is just have him in the best position to score goals. That's the only thing Ellis Sims needs right now, right? To transfer to be equal to the type of player that Dominic Solanke is. And that is not very hard if you find yourself in a system that is creating chances and giving you a whole lot of chances to score goals. So I'm going to see why it's hard. The man is very young. He might go only improve from here going forward.
But learn the markets. Or move on with the show. The one thing I gotta say to you is make sure you know the markets. You get me? I say, and you know what I mean by that. But anyways, big up to Ellis Sims. Let's see what the future holds in terms of will he get a transfer back to the English Premier League. It doesn't have to be to Bournemouth or Brentford. You know, it could be to another respective English Premier League team. But I think he's a quality striker. He has shown that over the years his trajectory is always on the up, on the up, on the up. He was signed for undisclosed fee when he signed for Coventry. And, you know, the Sun reported that if one of the strikers from either Brentford or Bournemouth left the club, then he could be a potential replacement. And the only striker that left their club just recently was Dominic Solanke that went to Tottenham Hotspur. The fact of the matter is, listen,
So you think he could do well at Bournemouth?
and if you're talking about a ready-mix striker right now, how many strikers Bournemouth can go out there to just get that is like ready to kick the Premier League and scoring goals? It's not many, bro. You get what I'm saying? And if you're
First
gonna
off,
buy a striker like that,
you think him could do well at Bournemouth?
yeah, I think him could have done well at Bournemouth. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, where he would have win then at Bournemouth?
Yeah.
What would he win at Bournemouth? You're saying could have do well at Bournemouth, so when would I win?
We're not talking about the club as a collective. We're talking
When
about
would I win? When would I win? You just said he would do well.
Hold
So what would he
Bro,
win at
football
Bournemouth?
is not an individual sport. As the
What would where would I win? What would Bournemouth win?
bro, obviously, me never said Bournemouth must do well or whatever the case is.
No, you just said the man would do well. So what would he win? Now yesterday you say you have to win something to do well.
As a club, you have to do some. You have to win something to do well. That means as a club, brother, you have to win something. Let me ask a question. Did United have the better season compared to Arsenal last year? You know United win the FA Cup trophy. Who won the FA Cup last season? Answer my question. Who won the FA Cup last season? United did well by winning the FA Cup trophy. You do not do well by finishing second or third or fourth or fifth. My statement yesterday surrounded the collective in terms of a club doing you have to win a trophy to for me to consider you as doing well. So you asking about everything as the individual, Ellis Sims can do well for himself in terms of like scoring 15 goals in the Premier or whatever the case is.
So Hurricane never do well in his
as
career.
example.
Hurricane never do well in his career ever.
Hurricane? No, he's not win a trophy. He battled numerous trophies.
Bro. So everybody play football for win trophies.
If you're a top caliber player, then yes. If you're in the position, I know.
Not top caliber players. I say overall, everybody play football for win trophies.
No, man. If you're in the position to win it, then yeah.
So what would you classify someone in a relegation battle if them avoid relegation? You would say them do well, even though them no win nothing. A team that clearly does not have the quality to go ahead and win trophies, but them avoid relegation against all odds. You would say them do well.
Against all odds.
Yeah, you would say them do well, even though them no win nothing.
When Everton avoid relegation, what do you think them do well?
Bro.
When Everton avoid relegation, you think Everton should have been in the position?
Question.
You think
Do
you
not
think
answer. It's
Everton?
a simple question. If a team avoids relegation against all odds, why you bring Everton into this? If a team avoids relegation against all odds, don't you consider them to do well, even though them no win nothing?
Like who, sir?
What is it?
Like who? Like who?
Bro, it no matter like
You
who,
have to give
any
me an
team.
example, bro. Like Leicester City. You think
Bro,
Leicester City
all
will
right,
win
what you
trophy?
say? If
You think
Sheffield United, what you say? Listen, if Sheffield United, right, with the team that they got last year, stayed up, you would have said them do well.
Sheffield?
Yeah, the same team will get relegated and finish bottom of
But
the
Sheffield
table.
United a couple years ago, like them staying at the Premier League. So
No,
that
we're
is
not
good.
talking about a couple of years ago. We are talking about this year with the team that they got in the climate of this season, which was last season, right? If they avoid relegation with that team, Zee said them go up on a 5-game winning streak and just fall. You know, say them would do well for avoid relegation, even though them no win a trophy.
I don't really know Sheffield like that, so I don't know if it like analyze for them team. You get me? I say.
Yeah, well, go to next topic, dog. Next topic, bro.
No, big deal. I'm not talk about I talk about couple seasons ago with Frank Lampard before the points deduction. You get me? I say they should have never been in that position. You see me? Clive Smith say football is a team sport. You can't say that an individual can do well without his team winning a trophy. Football is a team sport. You can't say that an individual can do well
Word that better, Clive Smith. No word
without
there.
his team winning a trophy. No, and that I say if a team go through a 38 game season, in my opinion, and them finish second, in my opinion, them not do well because they never win the trophy. The ultimate goal is to win the trophy. But as an individual, if you go through a season of 38 games, right, and you score say 20 goals in the league or whatever the case is, then for yourself as an individual, you did well. It's just like the team in general, to me, them not do well because them never get it over the line in terms of winning the trophy. You know, I've always said to Dicanio off here that I'm about winning, I'm not about losing, you know. I finished second place to somebody recently. I'm gonna think me do well, brother. Is what I say? I never win. So
Bro,
really
you should have hang yourself to finish second place to a man with one hand in a climbing. You have an advantage. You have an advantage, dog.
you never know, say the man one handed, brother. If me did know beforehand, no pun intended, then would beat him. Trust me. If me know say a man did then at the competition with one hand people, would have beat the man. But me don't know, me just a compete by myself and I do me thing and the podium time forward and me say the man have one hand. I say, what? I say, yo, we never know say this possible. Is me? I say, yo, Jaja youth. Jodine Moulton said this youth went to college. Jodine Moulton, when I'm on a question reasonability, dude wasn't my first choice, but there's nothing I can do now but support you. All right, so we could head over to the failure that he is in Steve McClaren. No, people, I don't understand Jamaicans. I don't know if it's a thing where like we're frightened for white people or whatever the case is, but I've never seen fans defend a manager that has been sacked 8 different times, 2 times by one club in Derby County. I mean, it amazes me that we defend mediocrity. You know, the same people that call for Tapper Whitmore, what them said never, who wasn't a tactical genius, etc. The same people were called for Coach Jaime Halgrims because he was a part-time dentist and he never knew his best team and the team only played defensive football, even though he doesn't have a track record of being sacked on 8 different occasions. But you have somebody in Steve McClaren who handled the golden generation of England. He got sacked from that position because he failed to qualify them for the Euros despite having Lampard and Steven Gerrard, right? He got sacked on 2 occasions by Derby County. Bro, how you go a club and you get sacked 2 times? I don't understand that. He got sacked by Wolfsburg after going on a losing streak. He got sacked by Nottingham Forest, right? Which other club? He got sacked by 20 after returning to the club for a second stint. And the last club to sack him was QPR. So Steve McClaren sacked 8 different times. And people sit down and want to tell me, say, this is a manager that we should write home about. Like, he's the one. I'm not saying he not have the potential to bring us to the World Cup. But at this moment in time, I have to analyze the coach. And I have question marks surrounding this coach. And that is the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? If he had went to the United States or Mexico, or Canada, people would question the resume of this guy, despite him being at United initially under Sir Alex Ferguson when he just started his career, and then he returned with Eric Ten Hag, right? I have a bridge in England, we call him Eric Ten Egg, right? But just I said, Dicanio, like people should question the resume of this guy, a manager that has been sacked on 8 different occasions, not delivering relative success for the respective clubs that he manages, and people want him to say, yes, this is the best thing since sliced bread. He's not. What do you have to say about
Then
that?
nobody never say that. They never say he's the best thing. You know, sometimes you listen, you hear what you want to hear. Nobody no sit down here and say he's the best thing since sliced bread. They say that he's the best based on what we can afford. That's what everybody been say. And we ask you, since you have a problem with appointment, name one person who can afford that we could have get in and we would have want to forget to get can't name the person. So why is your agenda, brother? Why you hate the man?
No, hold on.
You can't one person who don't want the job to get over him.
I do not have the list to make that to give you that answer. However, I gave you a name that I don't know if it was unrealistic, which we all know is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? Big admirer of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Norwegian guy. However, we hear rumors say the JFF did actually hold talks with him. I don't know how that true that was. I don't know how true that is, right? However, you can't expect me to just give you a name like that in terms of somebody who was on the list, because I really don't know who was on the list. I know that Miguel Coley was somebody that was probably actually on the 5-1 shortlist. Other than Miguel Coley and Steve McClaren, who eventually got the job, I don't know who else was on the list. But I'm just saying, for a manager to get sacked 8 different times, 2 times by one club, come on, bro. Like, how can I praise someone like that? A manager that got sacked by England for failing to qualify for the Euros. Dicanio, you know how high the standard in England is. England should qualify for every competition every year, literally, brother. If World Cup or Euros is supposed to play every year or every 2 years, England, they should be one of the first teams to qualify for that tournament. So when a man failed to qualify one of the golden generations to the Euros, you think a couple years down the line, I should not question that, especially after that, you see a track record of him being sacked on multiple occasions. I'm not supposed to question that. That's what you're telling me.
Bro, what we're saying is...
Would you take Steve McClaren at Arsenal?
Whether it's Jamaica Arsenal?
No, just answer my question. Would I take him at Arsenal?
I'm not answering a football question, bro. Not go ask about Arsenal and Steve
Dicanio,
McClaren.
would you?
Oh, yeah, man.
No.
Are you big
Everybody,
against
listen. Everybody wants to praise Steve McClaren. He won the Dutch league.
Brother, who is praising him?
Well, no. Since he won the Dutch league with an unfavorable team, since it's a big accomplishment, wouldn't you take him at Arsenal then?
Brother,
Why not?
just stop chat off it. Yo, you don't disrespect it.
All right, brother.
Which Arsenal? Brother, let's get back to the point of this conversation. I am not saying that he's a great coach. Zine, at the end of the day, I made a video speaking about this specific thing. I do not think, I question the JFF and the way you do it, and the reason why people have a problem with it, because you don't ask questions a whole lot of time. You make a whole lot of bold statements, even before, I say some things before the man even get a chance to kick our coach team. Now, instead of just lay out the facts to the people,
This is the facts, people. He got sacked 2 times by Derby County. That is the facts there. 8 times overall. Go ahead.
Brother, I see if you interrupt me again, dog. So as me I say, bro. See? So the man, obviously, and I said it in my video as well when we did make about his appointment, right? Him obviously never do well in a past international job. And I did question the Jamaica Football Federation if you never have nobody else out here that has more international experience or has some form of success with international teams. No, we've seen Coach Admiral have success with an international team. And them hire him based off that success that he had. And it is clear and evident as day that when he came into the Jamaica setup, especially over the last year and a half, over the last 8 months, it was evident that he was not the man for this job. Something wrong with the culture. He don't know how to deal with the players. He was a meat rider. He's not suited for managing Jamaicans. It was just that simple. If you manage Jamaicans, you have to instill discipline, and he was not the type to do that. Remember, him tried to instill discipline with Bailey, and by the time March to forward back, see, the man have begged Bailey to come back and play the same set of fixtures that he banned him and suspended him from. Brother, what kind of man that is? What kind of coach that is? And then later on in a June again, right? You have to ask a man for forward and tell him saying he can go on party and come back and play the next day. Bro, them type of coach ain't needed. And that coach had international experience and he was failing at the Jamaica job. So at the end of the day, you can't tell the Jamaica Football Federation say they have to go and get somebody who have international experience when they did that in the past and it come back and it just never worked. So they have to look at deeper things. They have to set targets. They have to set goals and ask themselves, can this coach do that? Now the main goals, and one of the main goals that the whole we know is we need to pull these British-based players. So that was one of the main goals. Obviously, the biggest goal is to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. However, you have subsection goals that is going to allow you to get there. I am in sales, so me are the perfect person to tell you about subsection goals that will get you towards a big goal. And one of those are being able to pull these British-based players. And he will definitely be able to do that, right? Now, whether you want to judge the man coaching ability and what he do against England back then, that was way 2008.
Hold on. Can you still up in?
Right. I'm finish it, can talk to that.
We have a caller now, so just I say like.
Here, I see him, but me can't forward when I done. So, as me I say, that a way 2008. See him himself admit at the time saying never ready for that job. But at the end of the day, the man has gathered a whole lot of experience ever since then, all the way up to now. See?
Experience in getting sacked. Experience in failure. Can we admit that? He's experienced in getting
the same. You come here to turn this point. So the same. See? The very same thing we just mentioned with Manchester United being successful over Arsenal last season. Was he not a part of the coaching staff that won you both a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup?
When did you start praise assistant managers for winning
No,
trophies?
okay, hold on. All right.
When you got Mikel Arteta, hold on, answer this to me. When you got Mikel Arteta, when you got Mikel Arteta, when Arsenal, hold on, no, when Arsenal, I got you.
You are going to listen.
Got you.
The same thing where you've been always as the brother. Zine, as it relates to the coaches, you are the same one forward here and say Steve McClaren must have had some influence on the way how Manchester United are playing. And we need to judge him off of the way how Manchester United did play because they had no clear way of playing, blah, blah, blah. So we are going to judge an assistant coach based off of the way how Manchester United are going to play, but you can't give him props when Manchester United win a Carabao Cup and win a FA Cup. You can't have the double standard.
Hold on. The fact of the matter is, United, let's be honest, against Manchester City in the FA Cup final, the man them get drunk due to the celebration of winning the Premier League. And the man them just never play against United. Let me ask you a question.
Where is your proof that them get drunk? Don't find this no foolishness in a youth. Where's your proof the Man City get drunk?
Brother, you think Man City couldn't be open the day when we beat them at the FA Cup?
Show me them test results now, say them drunk. And stop
when since Manchester United play better football than look at the call on Chevron, Chevron, let me just say this, Chevron. When since Manchester United can play better ball than City, you know, see City give City United the trophy where they when they beat in the FA Cup final.
So watch out. When Arsenal beat Manchester City in the FA Cup,
Dicanio.
Manchester City is not a better team, but though Arsenal win, why? Because they better on the day. Where you chat about
One on the bad man. Let me just say this, Chevron. Let me just say this. But to the league to City on 2 occasions, you know. The man them get drunk after winning the league. How much time they win now?
Shaban, got you.
Yeah, so thanks for having me on the show. But maybe I have to jump on because maybe I have to ask one question in particular. Pressa, are your comments being controversial for a reason that you want to gain traction on the show?
How can someone comments be controversial when the man gets sacked on 8 different occasions? It's a failure. Hold on, Chevron. Can we accept?
You had your time to talk.
I got you.
Now. So you consider Jose Mourinho a failure? You consider Carlo Ancelotti a failure?
Well, the thing is, there's a difference. There's a difference with Jose Mourinho and a Carlo Ancelotti. Let me say this. If, let's say, for example, in an ideal world, the federation could afford a Jose Mourinho, I would still question that acquisition because I know the baggage that a Jose Mourinho comes with, especially if the administration. Hold on, man. especially if the administration is the way it is now. Because
What
once the
laugh
whole
here that camera right now? Yo, brother, I'm here today your voice, you laugh
come
here
on,
that camera right
come
now,
on.
dog.
Once the organization or the administration is not in order, Jose Mourinho will have a problem once he not get where he wants. So if Mourinho say, for example, he want to recruit like a Reece Nelson or he want to recruit like a Mason Greenwood to help the team for qualify for World Cup, and the JFF cannot get that across the line, then Jose Mourinho will have a problem and he will throw a fit. Now, the only difference with Jose Mourinho and a Carlo Ancelotti, even though they might fail sometimes, they still can deliver success for a period of time. Jose Mourinho, he went to Roma. I don't think they've ever won a European trophy when he went. He went there, he won the Conference League. He went to a final of the Europa League with Roma. So he was successful in that sense, right? At least with winning the Europa Conference League. But after that, he failed. Carlo Ancelotti, he got sacked on multiple occasions. When he was at Everton, people questioned whether or not he still has something within him. He went to Real Madrid, given the opportunity. He won the Champions League, won La Liga. So even though those two managers in specific might fail at times, they still can deliver success for a period of time. Now, when you look at Steve McClaren, where is the success other than winning the Dutch league?
As a manager, as an
than-
assistant manager,
Other than
as an assistant manager, he won the first treble in England. And with Manchester United last season, he was successful in winning the FA Cup, and he had also won the Carabao Cup. Brother,
bro, the man
all
said
right,
no,
so
hold on. Also say other than. How much managers out there even win a title in their entire career? You talk about
All right,
other than.
so Dicanio, so this is what I realize with most Jamaican fans, right? Jamaica is not Brazil. Jamaica is not Argentina. Get to the expectations down. We are not that team, everybody. We are not that team, brother. If we get up Steve McClaren, brother, the man not even put on the man probably not even going to a stadium yet. And look how you are talking and disrespect the man, brother.
You see me?
Like why?
How am I disrespecting him? So Siobhan, so let me ask you a question. Oh, Siobhan, you never did the press conference recently.
Yeah, I was at the press conference.
So let me ask you this now. If you did that, right? The fact him failed to qualify a golden generation of England to the Euros. Would you consider this current crop of players like one of our golden generation? Would you say that?
And those same golden generation of England players came out and said that they had problems within the camp itself because certain club players never wanted to talk, so you can't put all. And then the coach himself came out and said he was not ready, bro.
But if he wasn't ready for the job, why did he take the job?
More inexperienced. The man has a collected.
But why did he take? But why did he take the job if he wasn't
Professor,
ready?
honestly, in my opinion, but just think you're upset because Ole never get the job. Now my
No,
opinion.
it's not. No, but why?
No,
It seems
no,
him never ready
honestly,
for the job. So let me ask a question, Chevron. You gonna date a girl if you're not ready for the girl?
Of course. Too much man do that.
Brother, if Nicki Minaj
Yeah,
come
then
to
you
me
tell
right-
that
if
everybody
Nicki
use
Minaj-
some analogies. We don't make
Nicki
no
Minaj come to
sense.
me right now. I know me can't. I know me not have the money for date Nicki Minaj. Of course, me gonna do with her for all a week. That nothing for do with me, bro. Come on, dog.
But what if it
Brother,
does more
brother,
damage than
no,
good to you as an
hold on.
individual?
Hold on, brother. What about football? We're not going straight right now. The man has not done anything pertaining to Jamaican football as yet, and look how you're already talking down on the man. I mean, if you don't agree with the hiring, fine. But at least try to put some positive in brother, because I can assure you the man is listening to everything that you're saying right now.
But Steve, if you're listening to me, Steve, I do not care about you, Steve. I do not care about the fact that of your managerial record more than the fact that you fail as a manager. That's what he has done. You think my opinion, Stefan? You think my opinion must affect Steve McClaren as the coach of the Reggae Boyz team?
Before you tackle it, I'll make this clear before you tackle it. I give the two on the platform, but remember to make this clear. Steve, if you are watching this is Gunners, not Presser. We would love to have an interview with you, face to face, in person, if you are watching this, to talk about your plans with Jamaica football. That is him talking about his channel, not this channel. All right, go through, Shabba.
All right, so here you say the perfect candidate would have been an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer feel that every club he has been done.
Hold on. Stick up in. 2-time Norwegian champion, 1-time Norwegian Cup winner, and he also won the Under-21 Premier League as a coach as well. Now, at the time when he went to Cardiff, he did get Cardiff relegated, right? With Manchester United, as me say, by my logic and analogy, by my logic, he never won a trophy, so him did fail at United. He didn't do well, right? However, you can see good patterns within Ole as a coach at the end of the day compared to a Steve McClaren.
What is the Norwegian league compared to Eredivisie?
No. The man winning respective
But
league.
it
You
no
win
matter
what
what
is
Norwegian league compared to Eredivisie, the same Eredivisie where you are discredit. You can't walk and bring up Norwegian league and compare that to Eredivisie if you
I
have
did not
discredit
compare the leagues. I did not
Hold on.
I did not compare the leagues. I'm just saying you win what is in front of you. Simple.
Hold on.
So now that-
Might as well Mr. Speed go coach Jamaica then. He win 2 JPL, he win for time.
No, JPL is like far down, like way down
What is
in
the
the pecking
Norwegian
order.
league then?
You just said
But Mr.
said
Speed
he
did
can
seem to get off for the job at one point in
Hold
time.
on.
So if him did want to take it, Chevron, he could have taken it if him did want.
Mr. Speed has always came out and said he would never coach Jamaica side. Don't tell no lie on him.
But the fact him get off for the job, maybe them say something in him. So
Mr.
I mean,
Speed
he
has
take
said
it,
that Mr. Speed said people them bring and shut them down, brother. Just relax. Stop beat down upon the man. The man no reach it.
Chevron, he's a failure. It is simple as that. You get sacked 8 times. You're a failure. You fail with the England golden generation. You got sacked by Wolfsburg, sacked 2 times by Derby County, sacked by QPR, sacked by Newcastle, sacked by 20, and sacked by England. You're a failure. Simple.
Alright, I can guarantee.
Chevron, let me ask you this question. You watch basketball, don't you?
Go on.
You watch basketball?
Yes, I do.
So you're familiar with Doc Rivers, right?
Yeah.
1 championship with the Celtics. Would you give Doc Rivers a team that is built to win a championship? Would you give him that job to try to win it? Because don't him feel everywhere else him go?
I don't know the analytics of, but he's a great coach.
Yeah, but he's a failure as well because he's not
You
winning.
keep it football related. The man just tell us he don't know about basketball.
Yeah, but
Low
that aspect. I
Keep it
just
in
watch it. I just
All right,
watch it
Chevron,
through
we have
the
a
game.
next caller, so big up here.
Yeah, man.
Big up yourself, Shawan. Peter, my G. Why,
Before we get Peter, before we get I'm going to get Marlon Nelson because he might run.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Marlon, big up yourself.
Big up yourself, Marlon.
Yeah, man. Bless up the career there. Press a quick question. What has been Steve McClaren's success? If you compare him and Ole.
Repeat.
What has been his success story if you compare him with Ole as a coach?
When he won the Dutch League and he had relative success with Middlesbrough, I think he went to a European final with them and he also got promoted with them.
All right. He brought them back to the Premier League. He won the League Cup with them. Brought that same team there. Middlesbrough was the first team to start playing total football along with Arsenal in the Premier League between 2002 up to 2005 before he moved on to the assistant. Right? So we have to give the man the credit. Every coach get fired, right? If you look at it that way, I say,
Pep Guardiola never get fired. Jurgen Klopp never get fired as far as me. Jurgen Klopp get fired.
Those are elite level coaches. They are at the 99th percentile when it comes to coaches and top coaches. You can't fire those coaches. Go on to the rest of the percentiles, the averages. They might get
Sir Alex Ferguson never get fired before.
but how many teams has Fergie coach? How many teams has Pep coach? You have to also look in that context, you know, right? Pep has always gotten teams that are already handmade already for him, right? The coach is here, bro. Let me support the coach, man. The coach that even have a training session. He say you can't come and say the man's a failure, right?
But Marlon,
All right, hold on, Professor. Everybody say he failed with the English team. Who were the 2 teams that beat England for beat England in that group for year 2008?
They didn't make it to 08.
Yeah, but who they lost out to? There was an all-star team Russian there with Arshavin and that big Russian team that went on to the semi-final, right? The Croatia team as well that went on there. So we have to put things in our context. You know? They lost out 3-2 to Croatia.
but Marlon, you know the problem with that is it did not have to come down to losing to Russia. It didn't have to come down to trying to beat Croatia on the last day to qualify for the Euros. If they had beaten the smaller teams in the initial stage of the qualifying campaign, they would have qualified for the Euros in 2008. I think they played the likes of Macedonia, if I remember correctly, and some other smaller nations as well, in which they drew on the last.
Pressure. It's since Southgate took over England team, England start beating Macedonia and all this team. They always struggle against them.
I agree, especially since at St. George's they brought in that I don't remember if it's a 5-year or 10-year plan, and Southgate to an extent, well, him not succeed to me because he never win a trophy, but him go on good, in terms of shifting the culture, right? So I agree with you in that sense.
If you put it for the longest while, Southgate has been the most successful coach as England since the 66 team. They haven't got anywhere. He has brought them to 2 final and brought them to semi-final.
But
Remember
my opinion,
2014.
Marlon, is that you have to win a trophy to be successful.
So,
Right. Hold on. May I ask you a question, right? World Cup and Euro, right? Somebody have to win, right? Right?
Exactly.
If going to the final isn't a major achievement, where they won't go in before.
Never won it, so it's not a major achievement.
So that means
So-
that 31 teams are bound to be failures in any competition, in any World Cup. They are bound to be failures.
I mean, yeah,
31
some teams are
are
just not
bound
gonna
to
make
be
it that
failures.
far unless it's by luck, but it doesn't mean that.
All right,
That's
so
the
Morocco,
underdog.
what
No,
is that?
You know,
So,
Marlon,
hold
you
on,
know,
one
this reminds me of-
So when Morocco went to the final
Hold
of
on.
2022 Qatar World Cup, they were failures for going to the semi-finals. Morocco, they were failures for going to the semi-finals. They did not do well for going to the semi-finals.
They've never won the
That's
trophy.
that. Honestly, saying no sense, dog. That's why you them not retain a dog.
You play to win.
Pressa, you have to look. You have to look on the team. All right. Jamaica reaching their first CONCACAF World Cup in 2015. Was it a failure for us?
We never win the trophy, so we fail.
So were we ever passing semifinals, quarterfinal or semifinal spot? We went to semifinal 2 times, right? And we were underachieved, and we to go to that World Cup final was a big opening in Jamaica football, right? You have to consider somebody have to win. So all right, Argentina beating France, did France fail?
Yeah, them never won the trophy. Marlon, I think we're being too sentimental in terms of. I recently watched couple races in the Olympics, right? I'm here, man. I say, oh, second place should have beat first place just because them look more deserving. Is that they beat first place? Is that they beat the person that is in front of you or not? It doesn't come down to the underdog loses, but them should have get the trophy. Well, if you did need it, if you did want the trophy, then you beat the team. It is simple as that. Why is it that as fans?
That's why 3 medals are given out: gold, silver, and bronze in football, in sports in
I hate
general.
this thing when people say, "Oh, second place. Oh, you win a medal. You win like second place. You know, you never win. You lose."
So watch your style, yeah. So Cole Palmer last season, he and Erling Haaland at one point before Erling Haaland go up on this huge run, were challenging for the golden boot. Him score must want a hat-trick and it must forget a penalty him for a good team and him say no, more the fourth goal. Right? So he was evidently chasing that golden boot. So I can tell me say the man scored 20 plus goals. And even though Erling Haaland wing way, I still always say the man don't have a good season. The man still never perform.
I'm talking about a club, not an individual. I'm talking about a team in specific, not a like individual. Obviously, they can do good as an individual, which Cole Palmer did last season. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, what separates Erling Haaland from a Cole Palmer? He win trophies.
He's in a better team by far.
Well, that's Chelsea's problem. Maybe they must develop a good team as well. I know me tell Chelsea to be bad last season.
No, me just ask, what I say, you have to look on the football. You can't look on the football one way. You might not be fond of the coach. You have to the coach is here to support the coach, bro.
Man, but I support the coach, but I'm just saying when
you can't be praising that picture of the coach was here. Huh?
If you're never ready, Marlon, would you take a coaching job if you're not ready?
Press up. Right now, if Jamaica come now offer you a Jamaica job and you have a slight idea about coach, to coach in your national team or to play for your national team is always an honor.
Right? There's no. I don't want to feel. Listen,
yeah?
I'm not against.
You're a coward.
I am not against. I am not against failure.
In order to succeed,
Hold on. I am not against failure.
Because the point that you're telling me that you would not try. If you have your coaching value, then you can coach.
Let me ask you a question. Let me give you an example,
you would not try because you're afraid for failure. You're a failure.
Marlon, let me give you an example.
You are a failure.
Marlon, let me give you an example. I do rock climbing, right? And in rock climbing, you have different types of rock climbing, right? Now, you have climbing is graded. I mean, climbing, it goes by different grades. So, like, you have the easy grades and you have the hard grades. Dicanio, you think me, I go rock climbing one day and just say, oh, I go climb the hardest grade ever. First of all, me not exercise like that. Me not do cross fitness for like train myself to gain that strength to climb the harder grade. So me must just go up on the hardest grade that is known to man and try climb it and kill myself and
all right, watch your style.
So all I'm saying is that I'm not against failure. Listen, I am not against failure. However, I want to put myself in the best position before I take an opportunity. If I take the opportunity, whilst I think I put myself in the best position and I end up fail, then so be it, brother. But I'm not gonna take up the national job if Jamaica call me right now.
If I say you approach life, you're dead in a show, bro. Big man.
Anything you say?
Big up yourself, Marlon.
Best up.
Yeah, man, big up. Peter, my dog, what's up?
Yes. Boy, Press, I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
With Doc Rivers, what you say now? Him is a failure or what?
Yeah, because listen, me big him up for the championship when we win the Celtics, you know. But Peter, if you're familiar with basketball, don't that Rivers after that field with every
Brother,
other
stop me
team.
up basketball. I would think
All
Alright.
right,
that
talking to
Pressure.
Peter. I'm
Pressure,
talking to
I'm gonna
Peter.
use your own terminology, right? Yeah, as a coach, other teams they never do anything, but them go to Celtics and win, right?
Mm.
All right. Then who fi say this a coach you're coming to Jamaica, not going to turn into a winner? You have to give him the opportunity, though.
No, but if you have a bad track
In
record, right?
respect,
Hold on, Peter.
before,
Let me ask you a
go on.
question. You take Sam Allardyce and Steve Bruce at Jamaica? Answer my question.
If I would,
You
Yeah,
take Sam
but-
Allardyce and Steve Bruce?
okay, yes, but bottom line is
What?
this.
So you take Sam Allardyce and Steve
This is
Bruce?
well,
Wow. Let's see what the
Personal-
mindset
Yo,
is.
answer the question, your pressure. Pan screen. Answer the question, your pan screen, bro.
Let's see where the
Yeah,
mindset is, Peter.
no, all I'm saying is this, right? Before Doc Rivers got to Celtics and win, you'd have declare him a failure. You understand? Which he was. But he went to an organization that probably give him more support than him ever get before. Allow him to have more say in this whatever plan him off. You understand? And him go through and him win. It's the same thing with this new coach. Him come to Jamaica now, and him can turn things around for us.
I am not saying that he cannot turn things around, no, Peter, and I'm not banishing the guy from the position. All I'm saying is, Peter, let me ask you a question. Greg Berhalter got sacked by the US Football Federation recently. You that take him up for the Jamaica coach?
No, me no, man. Me not take nobody.
You saw me catch you now. You saw me catch you.
No,
Everybody.
but what I'm saying
Hold on,
is-
Peter. 146 round upon live stream. I remember when JT or over Sports Prophecy, I say, man, I try to remember if a JT or somebody else, them I say, yo, what do you think about taking a Greg Berhalter in for the coach for Jamaica? Everyone I say, no, we don't want Greg Berhalter, even though he won couple trophy in the United States. But man, we fail with England and get sacked on multiple occasions. Who know that want to take for Jamaica? But Greg Berhalter will use the region. Hold on. Greg Berhalter will qualify America for the World Cup before.
Well,
and
you
win
can
couple trophies.
qualify
We know
for
it.
20 million, you could have a PhD.
You see the mindset now. You see the mindset now.
American. One of
Hey,
these
the-
go bias.
The reality is, this is who we have. And him we have to work with. And him have to take us to the World Cup. Nobody else. So because it's him we have, you understand? We have to first of all wish him well. Him have the, as Gunnar say, the reality is this, he has a capability of bringing more better crapper players into the Jamaica side. You understand? And that, I mean, without players, you can't win nothing.
Sita,
If
sorry,
you don't win-
not to cut you, but Marlon Nelson did mention Greg Berhalter, a man that has won trophies with the United States within the region that we play in, a man that has qualified the United States for a World Cup. But many Jamaicans, football fans, say them no want Greg Berhalter. But a man all the way.
Which World Cup you qualified him for?
Hold on, mate. I'm an hour cross away from the pond.
Which World Cup you qualified him for?
Let
You
me-
must say them automatically make it call them a host,
No, I'm not at this one, the one before. But what may I say
Which
is,
you are coaching the one before?
who did that the coach for USA in 2018?
Bro, the man was not the coach in for USA in our last World Cup, brother, with him play. He was
No,
not.
he wasn't.
How much you, brother? Will qualify USA for
I
World
feel
Cup.
IMD get them knocked out against Trinidad, don't?
Brother, the man first major tournament was when the one when play against Nations League.
No, man, I said,
In a
all right,
nation,
my mistake. But I
everybody
think
call him
he did fail to qualify them with Trinidad, against Trinidad, no, so.
Brother, I don't know where I
I
just
think-
know
I think
some
we did
them
fail,
have coached
so now
them
mix them
at
up.
the World Cup.
All right,
So clear.
No, man,
let me ask you one question. Hold on.
I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
You're not catch me out. You're not catch me out today.
No,
I'm not
man,
stupid.
here, no,
Hold on,
here
man, hold on,
this
no,
question,
hold on, no,
Presta.
hold on, no. Peter,
Yeah.
I realize every
Yeah.
time I come on the live stream, I'm talk things, it's like people think some make up things are so. You cannot tell me. I know that United States did fail at the 2018 World Cup. I think they never qualified, if I remember correctly, right? But I know that Greg was the coach at one of the World Cups. You cannot fool me. I'm not going to go up and Google and research it. You cannot fool me, people. I'm not stupid. You tell me say Greg Berhalter was the coach one of the World Cup them, or that's not try to tell me. So
Do
means
it,
that
just pull it up and prove it wrong. I would can say, yeah,
No,
but go do it now.
Presta. The only thing me concerned about is the fact that this is the coach we have. We don't have
Hold on.
nobody else.
Hold on. The 2022 World Cup over Russia, how did they on the sideline? Now Greg Berhalter.
So pull it up I'm
Yeah,
proving
but I'm
wrong.
not looking at bad man. I know you that bad
So
man.
you literally just say you go pull it up. Why you wouldn't want to do it? It's very easy. If you're there in front of
Let
your
me, let
face,
me
pull
just
it
pull
up
it up
and prove
because
it
you
wrong.
not gonna take me for you that, brother.
Exactly. So
No,
do it.
Go on, Peter.
all
Talk
me I
Peter.
say, yeah, man, all me I say is this is the coach we have, and it's the coach we have to work with. So all me, I mean, want to go to the World Cup, so I wish him well. You understand? Me hope say him get the talent that we need, especially in our midfield. You understand? That can take us to the next level. And I'm going to tell you this, Gunners, the funny thing is, you see
Yeah.
when the man take us to the World, when him take us to the World Cup, and we pass all the first round, first I got the first thing to say, boy, are the best coach Jamaica ever have.
But Peter,
And
aren't you
Pressa,
not
and 2018 you did say as well too.
And let me tell Pressa,
You said the
Pressa,
2018 World Cup.
No, 2022. May I try to figure out the
And that
date?
come out of your mouth.
Hold on.
Us.
And
And
hold
that what they
on.
replied to.
At first, no. You see, you're not gonna dumb me down now. At
No,
first,
but
I
that
said,
me reply to. Me reply
hold
to
on. At first,
2018
I said he
coming.
qualified for one of the World Cups. I said at first he qualified for one of the World Cups, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah, man,
And then Uno said
the
the man never qualified them. I mean, I try to remember. I was trying to remember. Hold on.
Guys,
I remember.
I was wrong. Chris was right. He did coach him in the 2022 World Cup. We don't need to talk no more, dog.
So
like
how is
a
it-
love bus here.
so how is it that you guys bash out against Greg Berhalter? I'm on the qualified United States, right? And listen. We just want to tell you about Greg Berhalter. I know that America didn't have the best display in the Copa America, and Money said they never have the best display. If you never get the red card, people, America would have made it out to the group, and I believe they would have went to the latter
But we
stages of the
also bash
competition.
Al Grimson and he
Hold
get
on,
Iceland
hold
to
on.
the cup.
And it was
So what's the
unfortunate.
point?
But brother, only can't bash Greg Berhalter, right?
So hold on, you never
And
bash
said-
Al Grimson.
Repeat?
Didn't you bash Al Grimson?
I was always on the fence with Al Grimson. Until the
No,
last
you
part.
bash Al Grimson.
I
You
said
can go
until the
right
last
now
part.
time when you bash Al Grimson, brother.
But Peter,
you
Peter,
you
Peter,
say
make
you
it,
want Al Grimson
Yo.
out.
make it last point. Make it last point, Peter. I have a next caller.
Yeah, man. No,
You
man.
can say
My point is this: we all have to get behind the coach, because this is the only way we are gonna get to the World Cup. Because I him them get. We don't know why them weren't able to get the other players. Maybe the amount of money what them are asked for is we can't afford. And maybe this is the best we can afford and get for the nation. So if this is all we can get, even though, who I didn't really want to come, John Barnes. Because when John Barnes get the opportunity years ago, he was the one who started to make Jamaica step
Peter, you
forward.
see,
But
we have the sentimental,
because
you know.
no.
You
No.
have to have a response to everything, you know.
Because listen, because GFF never gave John Barnes the true opportunity to take charge of that team when John Barnes was coach for Jamaica.
So
Check
John
out the
Barnes
history,
over
my
Steve
brother.
McClaren right now. You that John Barnes over
No.
Steve McClaren right now?
No, I wanted John Barnes to get the opportunity.
Wow.
But him never get it.
Wow.
The fact of the matter is this:
Okay.
McLaren is the coach. I mean, behind him 100%.
So you that
And I believe-
Dwight York coach?
No,
So why that John Barnes? What has John Barnes done in football?
Yeah, we
Like, tell me.
can't take Dwight York, brother. It's a
No, but what John Barnes doing in football substantial that would have taken him, that Peter would have taken him again?
listen. No, but again, you ask me, say me that take John Barnes, you talk about Dwight York. John Barnes is a Jamaican, go school and play ball for Wolmers. John Barnes did coach, he never coached a high level team in the English division, but he did well as a coach. You understand? Dwight York, Dwight now. If I go bring a Jamaican, me say John Barnes. John Barnes, but we have McLaren, me behind McLaren. Bless up, gentlemen.
What about Miguel Coley? He's a
Big up
Jamaican.
yourself, Peter. Watch
No,
yourself,
Michael-
bro.
Bless up, people. Bless up.
Yes.
Jamaica World Cup, me say.
That
Next,
is-
we're going to pass round one. And I'm going to hear Presser eating word. Presser, man,
It's not about eating words now. Listen, in life, a manager can always prove me wrong, I can always backtrack off my words. It's just that I'm looking at the track record of this manager, and to me, he's a failure. But we got Peter.
All right, blessing, gentlemen. Guide us.
And Peter, by the way, your club never sack him. You're not in them first, did sack him now. Oh, Bala, big up yourself.
Bala, you're muted. Hear me, dog.
Yeah, man. Bless up on a Sunday, man. Bless
Yeah,
up, bless up. Bless up the
We have
camera.
to
1 year older. 1 more year on the earth.
respect,
dog.
respect.
Yes,
Watch your
big up.
style, press. I'm my bro, this, So you see, bro, I know why I interrupt him, man. You see me?
No man, it's all right. First, I get a letter bill
Fresh.
from everybody today on this Sunday. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing now. Steve McClaren, his press has been saying that he's a failure in terms of his previous jobs and his previous appointments and so forth. And I'm not going to lie. Either of you watched the True Jordy before?
Mhm.
You remember when for those who don't know, he's a very passionate Newcastle fan. And I remember a lot of his videos back in 2016 were about Steve McClaren now. And the rants that man went on about Steve McClaren, and I was like, whoa. Right? So when we hear that Steve McClaren was in the contention for this job, we get the PTSD, right? So I was like, Jesus, so this is the man who will coach me. But when I did my research and I looked on the man CV and I said the honors that him win, it don't look too bad, you know. And I think we have to be very honest. This Jamaica job is not an easy job, right? Because whoever is going to get this job has to be able to manage the players and has to also manage the fans' expectations and also manage with the JFF and them crosses. So basically, what I am seeing in the press conference, what it sounds like to me, is that Steve McClaren have a much better relationship with the JFF already than what Hal Grimson did have.
No man, you can't say that man because JFF. I mean, I go say them corrupt, but
No, man.
that's an easy organization for deal with.
Yeah, me know, but just I say based off of the press conference, which I know isn't much, you know, but just when I look at that, I see, and I think he mentioned that he has known the people, he's known the president, and I think he's known Rudolph Speed for a bit because of the FIFA thing. I think that's what he said. But
Yeah.
the energy so the energy that I'm getting from them is that there is a bit more equal communication in terms of what all the parties want, you know, and I think that is crucial, right? But like I said, we can't really be too confident because you know how the JFF stay and rare. But the way I see it, this is the best coach we could get right now, given the circumstances, the fact that he speaks English, the fact he is so experienced, he knows all these English players that we have been tracking, and I think for the most part it ticks all the right boxes. But as
A man that has been sacked 8 times tick all the right boxes. Let's address this that is on screen.
All right. So
Mac and sack. Sacked Steve McClaren's managerial record since leaving Middlesbrough is shocking, with 9 teams in 13 years and got sacked 2 times by Derby County. What do you have to say about that? He's the right man. He's the man that ticks all the boxes.
Well, not every time when a manager goes to a club, it's a good fit.
8 times? Come on, man.
Well, lots of managers get sacked, you know, Presser. Lots of managers get sacked, and it takes a while for them to find the right club. And I will say this though, yes, it is a risk. It's a risk for us. It's a risk for him, and we have probably more weight on it because we're the ones that want to go to the World Cup. Him can leave and go to England whenever he wants and still have that reputation there, right? But what I will say is that I am not really paying attention wholly to the 8 sackings. I will want to pay attention mostly to the most recent 3 jobs and 4 jobs, right? But you can't really ignore the good work he has done as well in those sackings as well, because winning the Eredivisie, which is 20's only Eredivisie title won in their history, is a huge accomplishment. The work he did at Middlesbrough was fantastic. And look at where Middlesbrough is now. Me sure them with a I mean, he's a legend at Middlesbrough, you know. Legend at Middlesbrough, legend at 20. So when you look at things like that, it's very hard for me to look at the 8 sackings and say, okay, he's been sacked 8 times, but he's also done this stuff as well, right? So yes, every manager can get sacked, but sometimes a good fit is not always a good fit between a club and a manager. And he hasn't coached a national team since the England job. So the way I see it, maybe he was the England job. We all know the England job is a very political, very difficult job to manage. So when it comes down to it, it probably wasn't as good as a time for him to be taking over that job. Now with us now, we have a lot of talented players. We have an environment he seems to be familiar with. He seems to be very enthusiastic to get the job done. We have to just make sure that the JFF keep them head on straight and not bother with the foolishness with the behind the scenes and support the coach, right? So I am not looking at the past in terms of the sackings. I'm looking at the positives of his past, and I'm looking forward. because it don't really make no sense when you look upon the sackings them. Why am I look upon the sackings for? Yes, the sackings are relevant to a degree, but I still don't see anything in the sackings that's making me go like, okay, well, this didn't capitulate into this massive downward spiral at the club, right? Because even before he joined Newcastle, he did very well with Derby. But then I think Frank Lampard took over not too long after. So the way I see it, we have to just support the coach, man. And I know Presser gonna say he's a relative term. Right? Failure is a relative term. We are a failing nation when it comes to football right now. Are we or are we not, Presser?
I mean, yes, I guess we go hand in hand with Steve McClaren. We're both failures.
Right.
Couldn't it be a better match than that, right?
Well, if you said it, but I think we can both learn from each other and we can both move forward because if we both go to the World Cup, great for all parties,
A
Great for all
negative,
parties.
one thing you learn in school. A negative plus a negative equals positive. Let's go. Let's go.
Let me tell you this, right? The fact of the matter is, I'm not banishing the guy from the current position. All I'm saying is, I think Jamaicans are frightened Friday over Steve McClaren, and
Friday,
me-
Friday, what do you mean?
in terms of, I don't know if it's because of the United attachment. Oh, he was the former assistant under Sir Alex. Oh, he was the assistant under.
No, Presser.
No one isn't though. Like,
No, let me
one
finish.
isn't.
I wasn't
Alright,
talking for a while.
finish.
Let me finish.
Alright, finish.
He was the
Yeah,
assistant
yeah.
under Eric Ten Hag, who he's a failure as well, to be honest, to an extent. Big failure, because the expectations of United is not to win the Carabao Cup. It is to win the FA Cup, but also not to finish 8th. So Eric Ten Hag, you're a failure and you need to leave the club as soon as possible. I'm would I rather sacrifice the season right now for Eric Ten Hag get sacked in December. He's not good, people. He's not good. But other than that, in terms of Steve McClaren, why is it you want to take Steve McClaren at Arsenal, Dicanio? Enough money when you take him at Chelsea, enough money when you take him at Barcelona, enough money when you take him at Real Madrid.
This is where your arguments lose people, because no, it's like you want to compare the level of Arsenal to the level of Jamaica. You mean I would take him at Jamaica, but that no means I'm gonna take him at Arsenal.
So why you take Mikel Arteta? That's never. When Mikel Arteta made the move to Arsenal as the manager, right?
Bro, I'm not engaged in them conversations with you. So if you want a response with that conversation, you are not going to get it.
Hold on, no. When Mikel Arteta got the job at Arsenal, were you saying that he won the Premier League title with Pep? You did business about him as an assistant and win. But all of a sudden, Baller, everybody praises Steve McClaren for winning the Carabao Cup. When other assistant managers out there under managers, me not hear nobody say, "Oh, them win the FA Cup."
You know, say Pep praise Arteta though.
Well, yo, me no business who Pep want praise. Pep saying what I take Rashford.
All
Me no
right.
business. Anyways,
All right.
nobody mentions other assistant managers and what they win. But all of a sudden, Steve McClaren win FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Me never know say people care about assistant managers now.
No, I never know that you care about assistant managers when you talk about the man's style of play and the fact that he had.
Well, he has also been a manager in the past, which he has failed at that.
Dog, say you cannot have it both ways. You can't want to mention say he's a huge reason as to why Manchester United play the way they play. And then when them actually win something, you have to say he's not a huge reason as to when they win.
Bro, we were lucky. Eric Ten Hag and Steve.
He huge impact on the club, or he does not have a huge impact on the club.
He doesn't have an impact. None at all. The fact of the matter is, United, we got a Newcastle team to play in the Carabao Cup final, which was a poor Newcastle team. We beat a City team that, they drunk after like winning the Premier League. And the fact of the matter is, Eric Ten Hag and Steve McClaren is a failure at Manchester United, and this is why Ineos initially they looked on to move out Eric Ten Hag. It's just that you don't have a plethora of coaches out there that you can just select like that. So I think them just give Eric Ten Hag enough rope to handle himself, brother.
Well, fellow YouTuber, pick up yourself, Steph. Ask you one question. Stop
I
beating
keep
around.
answering that, bro. That take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if it was a realistic.
So it's not realistic. If it was realistic, so what? That is the problem with you, Your mind, they all in this imaginatory phase. It come like say they're in a DC world, brother, or a Marvel Studios, your brain there, brother. Why you keep on bring up things that are unrealistic?
Once again,
in your mind when nobody now call Nobody, every time we talk about whisper, you bring up one ducky.
Hold on.
Nobody in the comment
Colin
section
Quest
now
make this comment.
whisper
You
One Ducky.
see, I am
Every time we
not.
talk about anything, you just bring
you
up
see-
some wild narratives, brother.
Hold on. You see, on a
Focus
public
on what
platform,
is at hand.
I'm not gonna make on the disrespect Manchester United. Once again, the level of
It's
United
just
is
your
not.
team. If you can this, you
Hold
want to
on.
anybody can this, you know.
The level of United is not to go through an abysmal season to finish 8th and just end up with an FA Cup. It is not to have a season like the first season under Eric Ten Hag, which it wasn't the worst, but still not the best. That is not the level of Manchester United. So please do not tell me about Steve McClaren setting up the team. Manchester United play some of the worst football known to man over the 2-year span that he has been at the club with Eric Ten Hag.
But you
It is
still celebrate the
simple.
trophies. You still celebrate the trophies, and you still use those same trophies where you bash no, I say no meaning based off of where
It
you
does have
are.
any meaning to Steve
When-
McClaren.
when-
When things in the business about assistant managers. When things in the business about assistant managers.
Because you said the man have an influence on how Manchester United play. So if you are gonna say the man have an influence on how Manchester United play, then you have to give the man props when the man when they win 2 trophies.
The fact that the matter is we were
You
lucky.
can't just go back on what you say. You see them have an influence or he does not have an influence. So if them fail, he has an influence. And if they succeed, he has an influence.
We were lucky in
pick and
getting
choose,
that
brother.
success.
You see this problem here, sir? This is called expectation, and it's you see the problem with United fans is that Uno have too much high expectation for a club which is trending down.
So hold
That
on.
is Uno problem.
When Madrid used
No,
to-
no, no, no,
when-
no, no,
hold on,
no, no,
when
no.
Madrid
No,
used to
make
sign
it-
the
no, no,
Galactico
make it-
them.
make it-
When
make it
Madrid them
call
used to sign the
out.
Galactico them and them never win a trophy. Why never tell them fans they say them have high expectation?
Because that is Real Madrid who have 16.
So who is Manchester United then? Who is
What is
Manchester United?
What is Manchester United right now? Manchester United is barely a
Oh,
top
no.
four. That's what
When
they are
Madrid
right
did sign the Galactico, the man never did I win no
now. So
trophy.
hold on. Which
Who was
Galactico
Madrid
How
back
long
then?
did that period last, though, Presser? How long did that period last? How long has it been since you won a Premier League?
Brother, you have
Yeah,
European trophy? You have European trophy?
2013?
Do you have a
You
European
go
trophy?
up history, then bring up history. But at the end of the day, the same Galactico period the way you're talking about, how long did that separation last for? It never last long.
Brother,
It was just a small period.
Una suffer from the move
It is over
stadium.
11 years now
Uno-
since you win a Premier
Arsenal has
League.
been suffering since they moved stadium, but now
Don't bring Arsenal into this.
But now go
We're
compete
talking
with
about Manchester United and Real
Bala, make your
Madrid.
last point so we can move on.
All right, all I'm gonna say is right. We have to just keep the support and keep supporting the coach. He's here.
Even
He's in the
so,
island. He will go all over the place, right? You have to just support the coach. The problem that I think Presser is having is that he have too much high expectation when it comes to who should be the coach of this team. Because in my opinion, McLaren has more experience than Ollie.
He has
I would
experience remember, he has experience in getting sacked. He has experience in being
He's
a
one of the
failure.
same man
Presser.
already.
He's
And,
one
and
of
let,
the-
me, let me reiterate,
That is
he
the
got
same
sacked.
boy we're
He
talking
got,
about,
he got,
fans entitled to
he got sacked 8 times again, people. 9 clubs in 13 years, sacked on 8 different occasions, 2 times sacked by Nottingham Forest, sacked by Derby County, sacked, and he got sacked by QPR. And I need to point out as well, people, Manchester United did demote Steve McClaren just at the end of the season, and they brought in 2 guys in Rene Hack and Ruud van Nistelrooy, club legend, to replace him, because the fact of the matter is Steve McClaren is a dinosaur, outdated manager. I'm not think we can word it or put it any better. He's
So,
outdated.
man, them kick you off being a Manchester United supporter.
He's outdated.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
a lot of Jamaican fans who support United always find excuses for the club, which I'm not trying to find any excuses, because the club now, I'm not gonna say it is run properly. Ineos, they're doing a better job. I don't know if fixing the tunnel is going to make you win trophies. It's a step in the right direction. The transfers are good so far, but ultimately we need to be winning trophies in the next couple of years. I am just not someone who is mediocre. I do not deal with mediocrity. But what's your last point be?
Bro, how can you say you're going to deal with mediocrity when the man didn't even play a game yet, man?
No, well, he's mediocre because he's a failure.
How can you say that when he has not played a game, though?
But what should give me the confidence that he's going to succeed?
What should give you the confidence?
Yeah, when a man gets sacked on 8 different occasions, where's the confidence? Where should I get the confidence that he's going
Did you have
to?
the confidence? Did you have confidence with Carl Grimson?
Yeah, because guess what? Him qualify Iceland for the 2018 World Cup.
And has he won a trophy before?
I think so.
No.
I
What
think
does
so.
qualifying mean? Qualifying, I mean, Hal Grimson did not do well based off your.
But no matter, him have experience in qualifying a team for the World Cup. What was he appointed for? To qualify Jamaica for the World Cup. When Steve McClaren got the opportunity to qualify his country for the Euros, what did he do? He failed. Why can't we just?
That was so much years ago.
I do not care. He failed.
All right, rest it.
And your club Arsenal is a failure as well. You guys are a failure.
Listen to me. I don't think a United fan can call no club a failure. Listen, no.
When last Arsenal won a trophy?
Yo, bro, the man support City. Yeah, bring us a this one.
Well, all City fans are plastic fans. No, all City fans are plastic fans. When you start support City?
Bro, so go watch your style. Ball, big up yourself, bro.
Yeah, man. Bless up, man.
Big up yourself, bro. Hey, boy, presser. Punk of the week time, because the show get stretched over in a dog.
No, start the week.
Man, I wonder, bro, if this is a serious show, dog. A be man, he say, come on, you come chat in a dog.
Bro, so it's a Smurf. You as a United fan, you not admit the City fans are plastic fans. The club with 115 charges. Come on, people. City a club.
Watch your style, bro. We have the star of the week nomination. The show must end. Watch your style. So go through.
Yeah, people. I nominated the star of the week. And I think she deserves it. Well, I shouldn't say she at first, but I think she deserves it. Well, it could have been anybody. But the star of the week goes to none other than Emma Hayes, US Women's National Team coach, right? US, they just won the gold medal in the Olympics. So props to Emma Hayes, big up herself. Legend at Chelsea for the women's team. However, some people share the sentiment that she could coach a men's team, which I do not agree with. And Emma Hayes, she did some recent one, never rate, with the Arsenal manager for the women's team. But overall, I think she's a good person, good figurehead across football. When all is said and done, I think she will go down as one of the pioneers. Well, not like the founding father, but still, like, you look at her track record, she's very, very successful. Very, very successful. She's not a failure in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Won multiple trophies, just won the Olympic gold medal with the US Women's National Team. So I have to give Emma Hayes the star of the week. Big up yourself, Emma Hayes. You get me? I say, doctor say, press I forget punk of the week every week. Doctor say, what do these people ever achieve in life? What's your track record in this life? My name say me get punk of the week. Punk of the week was yesterday, people.
Punk of the week up on Saturday. So when it comes spam press a punk of the week every single Saturday my side.
It's not about displaying the
yo, watch your style still. Address a comment here. Because your boy Shaban say, yo, you're dissing in a dog. The man say from 08, the man start support City when Robinho got there, bro. Address that and apologize for calling the man a plastic fan, brother.
No, man. Shaban, big up yourself. I respect you because you're a Reggae Boyz fan. I'm not going to say I respect you because you're a City fan, but you're a plastic fan. But let me tell you, Dicanio, let me tell you, like, when since you start respect Manchester City as a club, be honest with yourself. When since you start respect Manchester City as a club,
bro, out of every team in the Premier League, I hate Manchester City the most, brother.
Come on, brother, I respect Manchester City people. The man them, the man them is a cheat people. I must respect a club with 115 charges. No people support City run from different club because them club now win trophy and gone over the people. And me must respect Manchester City. Come on, man.
No day City can't get my respect, bro. If you don't feel like we're not gonna get that from
people, you think 115 charges is a joke thing? I remember, Man City actually then they supposed to get, well, they did get banned from the UEFA Champions League a couple years ago, and it's only because of technicality the man them get off, brother. You get me? I say only because of technicality. And I respect City, bad man. City is not even a traditional club across England, brother. Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, West Ham, Everton, all of them clubs that have more respect in my eyes than Manchester City can ever get from me.
Big up, Eddie, big up. The man said the man is still in the man, brother. Look how much fires him get, but look how much irons him get. You know, look on that too in a dog. The man was so crap. Why people still hire him?
Because they're delusional. You remember, say you have organizations when I run properly, Look how much people still... No, but of course, look on Doc Rivers. You're not familiar with basketball, but anybody know basketball. Doc Rivers ever get the biggest job them across the NBA and him still fail for deliver a championship. Him did the 76ers where they fail for deliver a championship. Him the Clippers one time. I don't remember which team him there now. Hold on. Not the Bucks him there. Doc Rivers not the down of the Bucks.
I watch your style on my side,
Yeah.
him a bring up basketball, I'm telling him to stop bring up, you know, I'm not like that sport, you know. So watch your style. Yeah. We've come to the end of the show. You see me? Respect you guys all for tuning in. Oh, and 30-minute mark when I get the show for over that. But wait, so get yourself, watch yourself through and go. You see me? We have a new show that is forwarding Premier League content. We're going to be covering the Premier League teams, Premier League content. We want to put forward out and show the support. 128 of you guys. We're going to talk about Reggae Boyz same way, but we need to put forward out for the Premier League content, bro. This season is going to be brilliant. We're going to have on a whole lot of international fans. We're going to get fans from Ireland, fans from England, and we're going to get all of those fans on this platform. You see me? So we're going to try to build a real core of Premier League support on this live stream, guys. So I'm going to just make sure you send forward out and support the movement. You see me?
Fun of mine. My rebuttal would be that I think you're bigger dunce than me. You see me? But anyways, big up yourself, fun of mine.
We left you guys out with the intro or the outro.
It's time to rise up.